Hi everybody, Ephraim again here at the St. John's Botanical Garden, and I am here with our owner of the garden, Dr. John Rossi, and we're going to talk a little bit about our past winter here. As you folks know, living here in this area of Northeast Florida, this past winter we had a pretty cold winter for several days in a row where we were down in the 20s. And Doc, we experienced some severe damage here.
Yes, it was fascinating. We had loss not only of the plants that we expected we might lose, but we also lost a lot of the tropical plants that generally handle a ton of cold. The split-leaf philodendrons, fine example. They go through cold like crazy. We lost a lot. They're coming back, of course.
Right.
But we lost the Trinette scheffleras. We had a whole bunch of tricolored gingers and the shell gingers. So it was a pretty wicked winter. And then we lost quite a few of the palms that we thought were kind of borderline to begin with. And normally we make it through the winter really well. This garden is designed with a zone 9B low, which is normally 26 to 30 degrees, and we went to 21 2 nights with a stiff wind from the west, which is another thing that we weren't prepared for. Normally the cold wind comes from the north, and this wind was coming from the west, and it was 21 degrees, and we had just a wind chill factor that probably brought it down into the teens.
Yeah.
So it was pretty wicked, yeah. Rough winter.
So as you know, most of you folks that came out and visited us shortly after that, you witnessed a lot of the destruction that was here from the cold. But there's a silver lining to all of this, isn't there, John? We've learned a lot of stuff about the habitat here. So tell us a little bit about what it is that you guys have done with the volunteers and all in recording these issues here.
So we took notes for days, recording a lot of the damaged plants. We have right about 500 species of palms here now. And a lot of these palms, people had no idea what kind of cold tolerance they had. Many of them are new into horticulture. And we found entire genera that we had no idea were cold tolerant, like the genus Linonia from southeastern Asia. We had 5 species that tolerated the cold with virtually no damage. And then we had groups of palms from Madagascar. Recently, this one giant genus from Madagascar, about 170 species, was separated based upon DNA studies. And a lot of us were not too excited about it because, a DNA study, fine, they all still look similar. But what we found out was that one of the groups that was separated out by a DNA study was much more cold tolerant than the other 2 groups. And so it suggests that some of these plants had different origins, even though they all ended up on Madagascar. Some of them may have come from South Africa where it was very cold. So it was kind of an interesting observation, and we had tons of observations like that. Some species that we never thought would tolerate cold tolerated it very well, and others that we thought were more cold tolerant took a bigger hit than what we thought.
Great. Now, all this information, though, is going to be in your new book, right? You're writing a book about palms?
Working on a book called Palms for the Southeastern United States, a 2020s look at some of the new species. Then it's going to be a guide for not just homeowners and private collectors, but also for landscapers.
Great.
A lot of them, a lot of these new plants are very drought tolerant, which is very important, and they're very cold tolerant as well. So, yeah,
nice.
Good.
So, if any of you folks out there had suffered greatly with your garden over this past winter, come on out and see us and talk with us, and we can help you with some cold tolerant palms and some cold tolerant native plants that you should be putting in your gardens, and make it all look real pretty over the winter next year.
If I can just interrupt real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
The garden is resuming or getting back to its spectacular look right now in terms of being a lush tropical garden. In fact, this is perhaps the northernmost tropical garden, certainly in Florida, probably in the eastern half of the United States. And it's very lush, very tropical. All the plants that were damaged are coming back, plus we've replaced some of the ones that were lost with other plants that are a little bit more cold tolerant. We still maintain a huge collection though, and have kind of moved them into more protected areas. So we've learned as well from this experience, and you can learn from the experience too. So come and see us, because the garden always changes. It's never the same. It wasn't anywhere near what it was 3 years ago. It's very different from 2 years ago, very different from 1 year ago. It's constantly changing.
We are evolving.
Evolving, exactly.
Great.
I like that word.
Great.
Yes.
Well, thank you for meeting with me this morning, or this afternoon, I should say.
Sure,
and folks, come on out and see us at the garden. If you're looking for any kind of information, just reach out to us at the office and we can pull you some paperwork and things like that. But come on out and see us, see what's been changing, and see what's coming in the near future. So from Doc and myself, thank you for watching. We hope to see you out here at the garden real soon. Bye-bye.